So, today we're going to look at a plan that is part compassionate mission and part absolutely brilliant business strategy. We're breaking down the model for the K&J Senior Dog Sanctuary, a nonprofit that's all about giving elderly dogs a dignified, loving home for their final chapters.
Okay, let's just dive right into the heart of it, shall we? The problem is as simple as it is tragic. Senior dogs are so often the most vulnerable and the last to be adopted from shelters. So K&J's mission is to stand right in that gap. They provide a cage-free, home-like sanctuary to prevent euthanasia. And the impact? Well, it goes two ways. It gives these deserving old dogs a peaceful end-of-life experience, and it also helps lighten the load on local shelters.
To really get why a place like this is so critical, we have to take a hard look at this silent crisis that's happening in animal shelters everywhere.
I mean, the hard data just paints such a stark picture. Younger dogs, they've got a solid 75% adoption rate. But for senior dogs, we're talking 7 years and up, that rate just plummets to less than 25%. The numbers really don't lie. They tell us exactly who gets left behind.
And this, right here, this is the direct result of that adoption gap. This isn't just about finding a home. It's literally a matter of life and death. Being a senior in a shelter makes a dog 3 times more likely to be put down. It's an urgent, heartbreaking reality that K&J was specifically built to fix.
But here's the thing. This sanctuary isn't just fueled by heart. It's powered by an incredibly smart business model. This is really where that compassion meets some serious business smarts.
And they call this their hybrid advantage. It's brilliant. The nonprofit sanctuary actually partners with an established for-profit doggy daycare called C&C Camp Canine. So by sharing the same building and some of that basic overhead, the nonprofit's administrative costs stay incredibly low. And crucially, this is the really important part. They keep their finances and their branding completely separate to stay compliant with the IRS and be totally transparent with donors. It's just maximum efficiency with zero waste.
So who's steering this ship? This isn't just a passion project, it is guided by what they call a working board, and it's built on very specific expertise. You've got an operations director with over a decade in animal care, a strategy and marketing expert, a local vet serving as medical director, and a business owner as the treasurer. It's pretty much the perfect blend of skills you'd want for this kind of mission.
And their entire philosophy is about quality over quantity. They're starting with a capacity of just 5 dogs. Now, why so few? Well, it's to make sure they can give the absolute highest level of individual care in a cage-free, home-like environment. A key feature is this dedicated senior sensory garden, a peaceful, calm space designed for low-impact stimulation. It's all about creating a real home, not just a holding space.
All right, let's talk money. Because for any nonprofit, this next part is, well, it's everything. Let's look at their financial promise, which they describe as a model of extreme fiscal maturity and total transparency.
You're looking at just one number here, $3,000. So why is this arguably the single most crucial part of their entire plan? Because this number is the key to making sure every single dog gets the care it needs without compromise right up until the very end.
Here's why that number matters so much. Their financial model is built on 2 separate funds. First, you've got the predictable routine costs, about $200 a month for food, daily meds, that kind of thing. But second, and this is the game changer, is the final year reserve. For every single dog they take in, they've raised that $3,000 up front. It's like a dedicated savings account set aside specifically for the high cost of end-of-life care.
And this is what that financial maturity looks like in practice. That reserved $3,000 is a guarantee. It's there to cover a major emergency stabilization event, which can cost thousands, and a dignity package for peaceful, in-home euthanasia and private cremation. By securing these funds before a dog even arrives, they completely avoid that desperate, last-minute fundraising during an already emotional crisis.
This whole approach is based on what they call the J-curve medical model. It's really just a smart financial strategy that accepts the reality of caring for the elderly. You know how it is. Costs are usually low and predictable for a while, but they're almost always followed by a huge, inevitable spike in the final months. Planning for this curve from day one is exactly what makes their model so strong.
So, okay, they have this rock-solid plan, but how do you actually fund it? Well, this is where they connect that savvy financial strategy directly to the community and right back to the heart of the cause. They use a whole mix of different revenue streams. They build a reliable base with monthly website subscriptions, but they also launch what they call hero GoFundMe campaigns for each new dog to fund that critical $3,000 reserve.
And get this, they even have this doggy bus, which takes the seniors on little joy rides, acting as a kind of adorable mobile billboard for the mission.
Their subscription model is especially clever. It's not just about asking for money. It's about connecting donors to the actual impact they're having. The Scout tier helps with general care. The Ranger tier focuses on specialized diets. And the Camp Medic tier, well, that directly funds that final year reserve. They even give that donor a physical memento box when their sponsored dog passes away. It's really thoughtful.
And this quote from their plan, man, it just says it all. Their entire fundraising philosophy is built around this idea. It isn't a transaction. It's a relationship that's built on transparency, on connection, and on this shared desire to see a real, tangible, positive impact.
A great idea is one thing, right? But having a clear path to actually making it happen is something else entirely. This final section lays out their very deliberate, phased rollout plan.
They build this thing from the ground up in a clear, 4-phase roadmap. First is the foundation, getting that 501c3 nonprofit status and seating the board. Then, infrastructure, building the website and that sensory garden. Third, the launch, finally opening intake for the first 5 dogs. And then finally, after a year, they'll evaluate everything and start planning for future expansion, maybe like a foster network. It's just so thoughtful and achievable.
So we're left with this question. And the K&J Sanctuary model really suggests that the answer is a resounding yes. It shows that by blending a truly compassionate heart with a rigorous, transparent business mind, even a small local sanctuary can create a powerful, sustainable solution. And maybe, just maybe, redefine how we as a society care for the most vulnerable among us in their final chapters.